you through. I told you that I tried, but that wasn't true. I'm filthy, but call me clean. Made myself sick, yeah, it's a disease. No, I don't want no sympathy, and now I'm just a memory. Drink to numb the pain till I'm sober. Sleep until this bad dream is over. Don't call me a disgrace, not proud of my mistakes. Show me
Yo, what's up? uh, man, that was holy hell. That's the longest I've stayed awake in a long, long time. Oh man. Hello, what's up? Oh man. I stayed awake. I continued to play off stream until like 11 in the morning today. So I had been playing for like 20 hours by that point. Ah, man. There is no rest for the wicked. I need to add this song to my playlist. This song is cool. Oh, man. Oh, man. Alright. Well. Where am I? Did I not? Ah. Actually, I wanted... Why am I so heavy? Oh. Oh, yeah, that would be why. Supposedly, you're supposed to be able to get to expert in everything before having to master. I personally do not think that's true. I think you have to be a master in order to become an expert and then the master. Because I've not gained any additional XP in any of my skills since last night. So I don't know about that. Also, I might sound a bit nasally. Oh, hell no. What is this hell? Actually, but I have still. I might be able to. Oh, easily. Hell yeah. I have full still at the moment, so I can take on a different amount of things, which is fun. Working on tailoring? Yes! Oh, we need that so bad, I think. In fact, I have some undercut to give to a tailor and some salt for a cook. I was busy last night, man. I was running around the map with a group of Khajiit. Jetea was telling them about, you know. Oh, Cinna will need it. We actually ran into to somebody who claimed to be friends with Cinna. Miki was her name. She was very, very, very nice. Jetea had a fun adventure all over the place with Miki. Miki, Kaito, Dreadnose, and someone else that Jetea sold a set of armor to. Jetea is actually doing pretty good for herself right now. Oh, I need to fucking get rid of that. Get out of here, too. I don't want to see that right now. I do need to adjust the music a little bit. There we go. Fuck. I keep forgetting to get my stream manager. There we go. Super busy with advisor stuff. Jetea wants to, like... I mean, that's partially why we're going to, the Redwater Den at the moment. But Jetea wants to, like, be a part of that. She wants to, like, be part of the embassy and, like... eventually, or instantly, depending on what happens, be part of that council. What the hell? Huh. Oh, this is a road. Am I going... Whoops, we're going the wrong way. For guards and stuff? I mean, Jetea is a smith. I just don't have it mastered yet, because I want to, I want to get advanced in, like, everything, and then go to the mastery stuff. Looking for that, too. Oh, okay. Jetea is the apprentice to Tatri, so... But Jetea is also a former caravan guard. She's a former huntress. So GTA has a lot of combat experience, combat and recon. Because as a caravan guard, you see a lot of fighting. People always trying to steal from these ones' wares. Aye, GTA appreciates. One moment. I need to find a bush to set and hide in. Did my music just die? Where'd the music go? Oh, there it is. It's a very subtle soundtrack. The one time I need to find a bush to hide in, I cannot find a decent one. Oh, this works. Give me one moment, be right back. Sorry about that. I returned. We were going to have ham tonight, but unfortunately, it seems to have gone bad, which kind of unfortunate because I was looking forward to having ham. Oh well. Oh well, that happened. What the hell? Where'd the game go? Oh, dude. game fucking crashed. Oh, a lot of people crashed. Oh my god. What just happened? Huh? Updates. Oh. Oh. They announced it right as I was going AFK. Son of a bitch. Damn it. Nah, that's fine. Let's see. What does the announcement say? Will last 30 minutes to an hour? Oh, fuck. Include the queue system and reserved slots. Jarl, Stewards, Settlemore, and Legion leaders and content creators will have reserved slots, being able to skip the queue entirely. That's not... Okay, hold up. I don't like content creators giving special treatment. Like, that's... No. No, we shouldn't be doing that. We don't need to cater to streamers. That's... No. That's gross. That's fucking nasty. I don't like that. "10 minutes of inactivity? Bro, what the fuck? Disabled corpse looting? Does that mean that you can't loot it down to player now? Oh. I'm actually okay with that. Oh, dude, that sucks. 30 minutes to an hour. Isn't there a town hall right now, though? I guess we can listen in. Let's see. Swap game audio to Discord for a moment.
Quest board that like you go up to, you select that like said like fetch quest or like go here, kill X thing, bring back skull, like type deal, and like boom, you get like 5 to like 15 septums, and like oh, you're on cooldown for like 2 to 3 hours.
People are free to make up their own quests and post those on the notice boards as well.
Ooh.
Yeah,
and the thing that kind of diverges a bit from RP as well. We're trying to emphasize being more of an RP server than mechanic based. So
I can see. Just really an idea.
Point, yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Ignor. Delgal.
Hello, it is I, Delgal, Dawnguard man. I actually didn't have a question, but I did just want to quickly address like a bunch of stuff with the Supernatural FAQ, because I've heard a lot of people upset that we're gatekeeping it. It needs to be gatekept a little bit, not a ton, but like a big thing that I wanted to talk about real quick is information your character does not know. That is public. There's a public thing that was already posted. You don't know where Fort Dawnguard is. Please, people in rags, stop showing up. I don't want to have to sit there and just defend Fort Dawnguard from an army of people in rags. It's a lot more work than we need to do. A big thing is also fear RP being completely ignored for like the past week. People misunderstand what it means. We have what it is already written down in the server, especially a supernatural fear RP. You need like people should not be trying to 1v1 werewolves, and I've heard people who are literally walking around in iron trying to go out into the wilderness and hunt werewolves. Please read the fear RP rules ahead of time. That's all I'm asking. We have the rules all written down. It's like that for a reason. It makes it fun for both sides. You know, you get a bunch of boys together, you can hunt some werewolves maybe, but it shouldn't just be like 3 guys trying to hunt like 4 werewolves. It makes no sense. But I know some people want to feel like the super big badass. I get that. Trust me, I'm Dawnguard leader. I feel that. But there are avenues to go about those routes. There are factions that already exist that I recommend you go through. That's mainly the thing that I wanted to talk about. Also, to the Dawnguard that are listening that just DM'd me, I already asked about the gear. It's getting fixed at some point, so I'm not going to bother them about it. I already got my answer. You don't need to DM me.
Thank you
but that's mainly the thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah. A lot of things are, we do have kind of a top-down system from how we want it to be from GMs, and specifically, we find really quality role players. And if you want to get to such positions, it's done through RP. If you run into these people and they see you as fit, and that's where you decide in that moment to take your character to in that direction, you'll be introduced into these groups. But we try to make sure that it's the most quality. Not to an insane amount, but that you truly have a passion for the server and that you want to really help grow it and grow that group that you join. And those are the people that are selected by some of the great role players that we have on the server. Anyways, thank you, Delgal.
No problem. See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right. Sir Edwayne.
Hello, it's me again.
Hello there, sir.
I'll try not to go on a massive diatribe this time.
All right.
Hi, everybody. I guess I'm just kicking a dead horse at this point, but I really do want to talk about whitelisting and why the staff feel that the time is not right for this. With the massive influx of players we have, what's the thought process behind this?
We did talk about it, but I'll try to answer you quickly. And if any other GMs want to elaborate further, feel free. Basically, we have discussions about it. It's always an open idea. We do want to provide a nice big server with a lot of people and continue to expand the servers. And we have a staff team and a growing staff team that's willing to deal with the problematic players and get them out of here. And we don't tolerate people that just have blatant disrespect. We want there to be something big and accessible to many people, and there's many people who are new to RP that don't really understand or know, and people that make mistakes, and people that feel a bit intimidated by having to like submit a something to have to join. It's always an open discussion in conclusion about it, and we will see what happens, basically. But at this point, we're not doing that.
Is there a potential in the near future for just sort of a basic filter to make sure people have at least read the rules? Just some questions to make sure they've actually looked through the Discord and know what the server's about before they join it. I do feel, having played 2 months on Keizaal now, that the last week has possibly been the worst for the quality of roleplay I've experienced. I need to be brutally honest about that.
Oh yeah.
Just seeing so many meme characters with blatantly trolly names, seeing people blasting music through their microphone, seeing random acts of RDM. It's really concerning, I think, for the future of the server. And I do think there needs to be some manner of quality control.
Sure.
Yeah. So, just real quick, one of the first barriers of entry was this, the server limitations for us getting in there. But with the queue priority system, we're going to have a lot more boots on the ground to deal with this directly. Mostly. That should be... Yeah. You're going to say?
Oh, no, I'm just saying good point, yeah.
I'd also like to say that we're actively working on it as well. We have been daily dealing with reports and actively on the ground dealing with most shitters. So we are trying our best.
There has been a bit of an adjustment period because this has been a very abrupt growth in size, and it took just a little bit of time to adjust and also deal with the ramifications of thousands of people trying to log in when we had hundreds before. So, we should be kind of over the hill now on that.
I hope so. I really hope this new queue system works out. I mean, it's been a frustrating couple of days, but I appreciate this is a new update, and there's a lot to get used to, both from the staff side and the development side. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to ask about. I'm sorry if it's an old issue that keeps being brought up, but I feel it important that it's sort of kept fresh.
Yes, and I'll touch on that real quick as well. So again, 650 people is a lot of people to moderate. It's quite a difficult task. Right now, the main priority was focusing on getting everything stable. That's what Orin has been focusing on, making sure people aren't crashing, dealing with the traffic coming in. We're trying to keep up the best we can. We're going to hire more people to the team, of course, or not hire, it's a volunteer position, but we're going to get more people on the team to try to better moderate in-game. But up until recently, even us as staff were struggling to get in-game because, again, there was no system in place. That is now fixed. So we'll be able to moderate even better now that we can all get in just as easy to deal with things.
Yep.
That's
Just as a heads up to those listening who are just, hanging out with me at the moment. When the server does go live again, if you want to play, I heavily advise you have the game launched right now and just wait. Wait for that announcement to join. Because that queue system is going to be a doozy.
And we've seen you. We know you're a great player. You have a great relationship with us. You're passionate about this. We want the passion. Feel free to shoot a GM application or an application for a non-staff position, and we would love the help, even for a lore master position. So yeah. All right, McRog.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to speak. You mentioned earlier about opening a hold. Do you know when it might happen? Approximately, like in time?
The opening of another hold?
Yes.
It'll likely be, if I was to guess, quite soon. I can't give an exact number, but it's we're at a population where we can start filling out the rest of the map. We did just open Markarth, like yesterday. And so Markarth will be a new hold, but it's a specific hold for a specific purpose.
I didn't know Markarth was open.
We're debating which holds will be the next ones to open. But yeah, as that person said, new hold openings would be great for spreading population. Definitely, and that's what we will be doing quite soon.
All right, thank you.
I have a feeling. I know what's coming.
All right. Belseus Gallio.
I need to ask a question.
Greetings. I will try to be, swift for someone who's mentioning a point that has already been brought up, but I feel like I really should be hammering in the point, as I have very strong feelings about this. A server whitelist, and that being something more light in opposition to perhaps the preconception that some people might have that a server whitelist would be something, huge or perhaps a very long questionnaire of things. Let me bring up my points to reinforce this, I suppose. We're all quite familiar with the types of people that usually join this server, and when you have, or recently have been joining this server, when you have people coming in, we've all seen this in general chat and in other channels, who seem to not have any sort of basic grasp of the rules. They haven't read anything, they haven't read the announcements, the channels. They just come in here and, take up a slot doing pretty much nothing. Much like one of the previous gentlemen here has stated, a very light filter would detract from the work that the staff have to do boots on the ground in game to moderate these sorts of people with having to have proof of clips of their actions and sort of things like that, having to go through with all of this. I believe that some form of very mundane, very light sort of whitelist would really assist this matter, instead of having to deal with it reactively and in game. And after these people have sort of poured in with no dam to sort of hold them back, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool suggestion. I think we can definitely we've thought about certain ideas of that soft whitelist, and it's a tricky issue because I'll say months ago.
I mean, I would like to be a content creator.
Like 30 people onto the server.
Let me turn
the way it was before was not exactly it was a lot different.
I am a
RP wasn't
very,
taken as
very
seriously, but we've
passionate
done-
person when I
we've
set
kept
my
this
mind to it.
vision, the
I
GM staff team,
want to see
curate it
Skyrim
toward a
roleplay
very
grow. I
RP-centered
want
tone
to
without being too
I
crazy.
want to help
Not like
nurture the community. I want to see
Dungeons
this
and Dragons, but something
truly
similar to
become
that.
something great, something that people can
and
hop in and play
what we
and
found is
you
there were a
know
lot of people that
play a
came and they came
character
as kind
and
of silly,
become
trollish, but they
something
became
great
very,
to make their own
very good
unique
RPers,
stories
very
in the
integral
world of
part of our community.
Skyrim with other people. I want to
and it's
see
like-
this become
and it's,
so
and I find
successful that people will talk
I don't
about
know, it's
this
hard, but
for
this is definitely
many,
a suggestion that
many
could
years to
possibly
come.
happen, for
And I
sure.
want to be part of that.
And
I
think
want
it's
to help
any
that
way that we could have it where we
in
don't
any way I
deprive too many
can.
people from getting into this experience and learning how to be a part of it, but also making
But
sure that we don't have too much of a headache.
This is probably the first time I've been as passionate about something in a really long time.
So
Because I've been wanting this
by
exact
all
thing
means,
for as long as I can
it's-
remember.
You know, I've seen servers that have this sort of whitelist in the form of a bot that, you know, you fill out this short application, it gets sent into stuff. You just give it a quick, you know, look over, see if it's fitting and decent and okay, and that's really it. There's no need for any sort of microscopic investigation going on. Really just a small thing to ensure a base level of quality. But I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I agree
One
with
thing
that.
to keep in mind
I like
is
that.
that this is for up until forever, basically, from where I can see it. There has never been an accessible RP platform for Skyrim that wasn't us sneaking onto the Russian servers. And a lot of people are coming to this from the Skyrim demographic or the Elder Scrolls demographic where they haven't had an RP experience to begin with. And a lot of people are turned off. Some of the best RPers that I've met in the nascent days of this server, myself included, were people that were unfamiliar to the RP scene, but they came in from the Skyrim scene. And a whitelist would push away a lot of those people, like a hard whitelist.
I
That's
disagree.
one of the main reasons why we haven't done it yet.
I heavily disagree with that. That is not how that normally works. In fact, a whitelist
That's
typically
exactly it. Couldn't have said it
encourages
better.
role
It's-
players.
But a soft whitelist, that
because
is,
they feel
if
safer.
you guys also help us, if we go down that route, which I think could be good, help us articulate how that
Because,
would be good,
hey,
and what methods we
newsflash,
can do to
a
do
lot
that
of
to
role
make it
players
so it's inclusive to
also
newcomers
want to
the
stream
RP
their
scene,
content. They want to share
and
it with the
Skyrim
world.
specifically.
So
but
a
also
whitelist
filters out a lot of trolls.
helps
So,
kind
yeah,
of keep
thank
us
you for
safe
that suggestion.
from the trolls and the racists and all that bad stuff. Sometimes, you know.
Valera.
Always true to Keizaal. So, my question for you, going back to a previous conversation that people were having with you earlier about filling out the holds, would you be interested in the idea of expanding to the DLC areas like the Chantry of Ariel, Castle Volkahar, and like Solstheim? Once, like, yeah, I know it's like the last thing you're thinking of right now.
I'd be up for that.
No, I think it's a fantastic question. We've been asked this for a very long time. Currently, there's no plans for it. Castle Volkar is kind of it has been being used. Is right now it's kind of being reformed from where it was due to certain things that happened in character. And that's the vampirism RP and stuff will be taking place a lot more like it was before. It was quite an active thing. In terms of Solstheim and some other places,
I would love
yeah, there's
Solstheim.
potential
That'd be
for it,
awesome.
Definitely. And there's some ideas that we've gotten of it. And
Solstheim is such a unique area. I love
we'll see what we
Solstheim.
cook up for sure, and we'll always take suggestions on it because it could be really fun. It would be awesome to have a Solstheim area.
I'd totally play a Dark Elf.
To Morrowind.
As long as it's controlled by me, the High King. If not, then we're not
Okay,
doing
then
it.
never mind.
No, whatever.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Interesting, Fjord.
All right. Thank you very much, Villar.
Of course.
Just kidding. Cole Freeman, welcome up.
I would love to see House Veteran, like properly in Solstheim. That would be such a cool thing to see in roleplay. I love House Veteran. House Veteran's like one of the most unique.
Oh, there we are.
I'm so sorry. I was not ready for that. I was in another place. Hello, greetings, glory to Keizaal. I have my
Glory to
peppers right here, actually. And I wish I can actually speak so many subjects, but I guess I'm gonna just speak one in specific, and I must say so sorry if my language is not the best on my English. I'm trying my best, and I must say thank you for everyone for being part of this amazing project, and everyone that decided to participate. It's been very fantastic. But I noticed, I noticed a lot of things, but I'm gonna go in one specific that I think it will be in the long, how to say it, in the long run, it will be a big problem as a longer the servers get alive, and is that tailoring doesn't have a really a cycle of life in the server versus all the other jobs. I don't know if you understand very well in what I'm trying to say, but pretty much there is a suggestion that was brought up, and is that if the tailor will be most known as the backpack guy. I don't know why. I haven't reached that point, and I feel like overall tailoring, it feels like you get one thing done with someone, and there is no need for the tailor job anymore. Meaning that it will be reaching to a point that no one will need clothing.
I see. Okay, good question. So one thing that we've talked about and may potentially happen. So one, tailoring will be a bit more hard to access in order to become good at. Likewise with blacksmithing within the cities, we might move tailoring because, for example, if you come to Dragon's Reach, you just go take the left, go down the stairs. There's a place to use a loom. That I think what we will be doing. I've spoken with the modders about it. We'll be having that put into private businesses, and they will actually be able whoever the jarls in those holds give that business to, they will be able to be the ones that do it. So it kind of slows it down and makes it so you have to earn your keep in order to get the kind of clothing you want. In terms of, as I guess you're talking about an oversaturation of making it too easy and then therefore rendering the tailoring like needless. What I believe, so what we currently have with that is, so when you die, you lose armor or lose what you have equipped on you. And so that kind of adds into the economy, especially for blacksmiths, because adding a, what is it called? A durability in the game apparently is quite hard to do. And so this is a good supplement for it, as well as other things of making VRP more enforced. So things like that are kind of what we use as methods, as well as the continuing population growth, and the servers opening up, and people leaving and other people joining. So we have a few methods, and we're open to more suggestions of an oversaturation of something like that.
Also, as a tailor as well, when the tailoring was introduced, I was also afraid that that will be the problem, because tailoring has no loop, and once people buy from you, they will never come, and that was not the case. I think as a tailor, I was the richest profession on the server, and I think current tailors can confirm, and in the future they will be able to confirm. I was able to make like minimum 10,000 gold per week. And anytime I would log in, people would just need tailor, because appearance matters, and once they get sick of one outfit, they will try to get another. And especially with
a lot of money on that.
Lamia. Yeah, a lot of money. And especially after Lamia added recolors of other clothes, so when people start seeing those fine clothes recolors, they will try to get multiple of those. And I think tailors will actually have more job than they can role play out.
I'll be adding more stuff as well, like as time goes on. I'm gonna add more variations of things, so like tailors will just have like, you know, at least like 100 different things to create for people.
I do kind of hope that blacksmithing gets
I think
get
there are
some
already
additional
40
sets of armor and stuff. That'd be kind of cool to see different styles.
Common clothes, and then I added
different
20
styles of like
variations
iron
of fine
and
clothes
steel.
with different gradients and
that would be
patterns and
nice.
stuff. So as time goes on, that number will only grow, and people will have more stuff to, you know, flaunt their wealth with. So yeah, tailoring will be quite lucrative.
What is my webcam?
Okay,
My camera's like going
that
crazy right
was
now.
must have been my question, because for my experience so far in these couple of days and how I experienced, everything have a very decent loop of overall, and like a lot of people needed more blacksmith than tailoring or fine clothes overall. And that was my worry that was brought up a lot, and a lot of the suggestions come up that making, for example, divided a little bit of the blacksmith job to the tailoring, like leather work, to be a tailoring job, so the Khajiit and other people could be focused on leather related materials to be tailoring rather than blacksmith.
Yeah, put your suggestions for that. That's a great suggestion. Definitely
I can
post
fix that later.
and we will have our GMs on that.
Wait, before you leave, I'm grateful that you're here. I feel very happy knowing that you are from the same country as me.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, who kicked me out? Who was it? Okay.
Yeah, what
Who was
happened
it?
there?
Okay. No. Okay.
That
No,
was
but I'm
rude.
happy you're here. Thank you.
But yeah, thank you very
I'm
much
also
for
from Chile.
the opportunity. I wish I could talk about more things, but I guess it's just one question.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for everyone for allowing me to be part of this experience, and the the GMs overall for allowing me to handle the events that happened a few days ago too. I'm very grateful about the opportunities that I'm able to make more people happy or having a good experience with the server, even though I am not great RP person. I really appreciate the opportunity as well.
You sound like a great guy, and I can't tell you how much you're the exact type of person we want. And I love you, and thank you for joining the server. And
And
welcome
he's
to our
also from
community.
Chile.
Oh, cool.
And thank
Please,
you
get
for
get me out
bringing
of here,
people.
please. I hate
All
it
right,
here. I'm not
farewell.
gonna lie. Get me out.
Oh.
Bye. All right, let's
Shouting,
continue.
pim, pim.
Can we
The...
get a quick America check in the chat real quick?
No.
No. Hello.
Hello.
I'll be quick about this. I'm debating between 3, but I think the most important one is a survival type skill to be possibly added. Have any of you played Vintage Story?
I have not.
Not now. Sorry.
They have in there, they have something very similar to this where it's skills, and they have a survival skill where you can get XP from longer you play, and you could get larger.
Okay, well, I
stomach,
can't be a content creator. I don't
more
have
health, stamina, stuff like that.
I don't have.
I think that
10
would be a
plus
good
viewers,
way to
so.
possibly.
Oh well.
Add to where people can get more magicka or more health without giving them levels and stuff like that, rewarding them for spending more time playing the server and interacting with people. And later on, at the very bottom, it could maybe give somebody a secondary mastery.
That is, make a suggestion. We've not thought about exactly something like that. Make a suggestion post about that. That's quite interesting. We don't want it to be like DayZ. We want there to be RP and not like too overly.
I'll get an example from Vintage Story and post it in there with it. So
thank you very much.
If I may ask a second question, if not, I will pop out.
Sorry.
Sad.
Sorry.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry.
Just an FYI as well. Suggestions are temporarily closed because they're being flooded with like whitelist and all these other things that we know people want. So temporarily closed, they will reopen, but we just need time to catch up. So temporarily closed is all.
Thank you very much, sir. We're going to bring up S-Vand.
Oh, hey, S-Vand.
Hello.
Hello.
Yo.
So I have 2 half questions. Is that okay? No, I'm joking. So about the whitelist stuff. When you're talking about whitelist, just so I can like get a framework of just the conversation. Are you talking about a whitelist and like a higher priority in the queue where you get bumped ahead as 2 separate things? Or yes. Okay. So that's something you are willing to do, but you guys really don't want to do whitelist.
We will see. We have to do in terms of really. We've discussed it. Anything is really possible. We want to try to bring in as many people to experiences as we can without too much deteriorating the nature of the server and the RP. There, of course, as this grows and we open up other servers, there's a possibility of another one being for specific people. We want to make sure, because we got people that come in and with groups and stuff, and they kind of cause a lot of problems. It's on the table, and we're always willing to hear more from people, especially people who can give us a really good insight in terms of player interaction and outreach in that sort of manner, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I mean, that's about all I had. So.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Something I want people to understand as well, when it comes to opening up a second server, something you have to realize that if we do that, which, again, there's a possibility, maybe one being public, one being whitelisted, but regardless, if we do open a second server, we then have to find, the economy has to be established for that second server. We have to find YARs for all these holes. We have to fill everything up again, basically, which takes time. And then, of course, even expand the moderation team even more. So it's not just as easy as popping open a second server, but so just wanted to make that known.
All right. Let us continue. Hadassah.
Hey guys. So I have a question that might be a bit inflammatory.
Okay.
A lot of since the wipe and before the wipe, we've had it drilled into us that this is a roleplay server. This is not an MMO. We shouldn't be grinding. Blah 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 blah. But a lot of the skills in the game, specifically alchemy, cooking, and the crafting skills do seem to incentivize grinding for ingredients, which takes time out of roleplay. Do you, as the GMs, have any ideas on this issue, or is it just as easy as just find someone to come out and grind plants for an hour or two with you?
I would say that we try to find that balance. So it is in some sense MMO-y. Players do want to grind. The way we have it set up and what we're trying to do is make it so that the mechanics around the grinding are to help enhance and enforce the roleplay. You're a miner, of course, you have to go mining. Farmer, farming. And so we are always considering and thinking on how we do that before. Like we currently, for example, have a whitelist in game where you actually need to get verified by a GM to give you that ability, so you can't just go and steal from people's farms. And so we have those kind of gate-kept mechanics to enforce it. When mechanics sometimes are seen as a grinding thing to accumulate resources, the intention is to enhance the roleplay. If I properly understood what you said and addressed your question.
Yeah, of course.
That's your question.
I suppose I was only asking. Well, part of the reason I was asking is because we all know about the salt gangs outside of Windhelm, just farming salt all day. A lot of the ingredients needed to make things like even the basic potions are in locations where realistically it goes against personally my RP. Like if I want to make wine, I need to break into somebody's house and steal their parsley.
Or you could roleplay speaking and finding somebody who can pick these things. I've read it a couple of times in the chat, even just for the question, but just in general, no one. There's not a one-man army, and we want to facilitate communication and roleplay between the players. And there are people that love doing that, so it's to facilitate, working with them on that.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, that was basically just a question.
Okay, thank you very much.
While I'm still in here, can we have a Lumen Riften?
Yes, you will be getting a Lumen Riften.
Thank you very much. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
I can't apply for Lore Master.
Loving
They
my
closed
time
the
in this
submission.
service so far. I've been a fan of the series since Morrowind, and this is basically the dream come true of my childhood. I'm gonna make my question nice and fast. Are there plans to add more skills in the recent future, and are there going to be opportunities to reset your mastery when new skills come out, so you don't feel like you're getting trapped by picking something now?
We tend to allow players. I think generally we give a lot of leniency when a player really wants to switch something and change their RP. They make a GM request and we allow them to switch their switch what their profession is. We don't want players to be too beholden on a character because maybe they went into woodcutting and they don't want to do that, and their RP went to a certain manner. And if it's justified in your RP, we allow you to change it.
That's great to hear.
Make a GM request. Yeah.
Do we have any teasers on what skills might be upcoming?
New skills. I don't know if.
No, I don't believe so at this time. I know the recent addition to the skills was the warrior skill, which was recently added. But like we've said before, at the current stage of things, expect all focus to just be on optimizations, as now the priority is dealing with the scaling. That is the current priority right now, the scaling. So the queue system being in place, the prio system, once that's taken care of, then maybe whether that's a second server, but the focus is just scaling and handling the influx right now, and then in the future, new skills could potentially come into play.
All right, thank you very much. That's all from me. Let us all drive out the mongrel dogs of the Empire from this province together.
I'm going to start kicking people who ask a second question. Let this be a warning.
So, yeah. Also, what you said there, Vareth, of how it was said that there is no more mastery resets. We're again, kind of, well, sorry, to be clear, based upon where we are on the server of newcomers joining on and trying to figuring themselves out in roleplay, we've been a bit more lenient on that. And so we're going to understand the circumstances, see if it's like they're not just wanting to switch around and adjust accordingly for fairness. All right, Erebul.
Hello. I'm admittedly a new player, but to me, the system of privately owning forges and other benches seems to purely benefit cliques and insiders and other people that are already well established, but it doesn't benefit people that do good RP or have interesting characters.
That is true. What are your questions?
Is there a reason things are like this, or is there any plans to changes?
Yes, totally. So. We'll be also forming more rules around and more. We'll be looking at all the different smithies and different places where there's production like that, and we'll be doing a little bit of a rework on it for it being owned by cliques. Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where we want to emulate in many respects. So, for example, if you want to see something of like a smithy in a. And this may not be exactly what you're referring to, but I'll address what you are as well. But for sake of reference, a smithy within a town. And in Whiterun, for example, the guards, they guard Skyforge because that's their job, because it's for the companions. And then there's one smithy, with a smithy that was appointed by the Jarl. And so they operate and have that prime specific privilege for the sake of the hold. The reason why it's kind of cliquey and controlled like that is because, well, these are just social interactions that happen. Things of nepotism happens in a feudal society, as well as, I mean, it's player interaction. If it comes to the point of like really unfair and kind of devolving against people and targeting people and excluding people, that's an issue. Do you witness that?
Not in any great number. It just is surprising when people take over forts that are outside of cities and charge 50 coin to use it.
I see. Well, that's the for example, Fort Greymore is a lord under the Jarl of Whiterun, and so they have a right to do with their land as they do. That's just the nature of a feudal, yeah. And I can understand. There's the side of it restricts people. The other side, what I believe is good, is that restriction enhances the RP and the nature of Skyrim.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too. I don't mean to insult anyone.
No, you're good.
Say that it's not fun. Anyways, that answers everything. Glory to Keizaal and hail to Orin.
Thank you. Glory
to Keizaal. And hail to Orin.
We're not a cult. Feel like I had to say that.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, we're not a cult.
Making the other place like don't
hello everyone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Marcus.
Hello, it's good to see you all. It's been quite a journey, and it's good to see so many new people here, and I welcome them all. I'm just gonna go straight into one thing. So, my question is pretty much about the Legion. Before that, I know there are some people who are desperately looking for sort of joining the Legion at the moment, and we had recruitment closed. That has now changed. We've reopened it up. To that extent, the one main thing that I need to ask in regards to the Legion is we're having difficulty in regards to getting keys out to the right people and such, as it relies on, say, one person who has the key to be able to give that kind of thing out. Cuffs is another thing as well. So would you by any chance consider maybe in the back end having a Legion run similar to like a hold? So I as Legate can, give out the ability for cuffs, and maybe a Tribune can be appointed as a steward in the back end to sort of give out cuffs as well?
I think that certainly can be done. Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. We will be speaking about that. That is taken down as a note. Yeah, definitely.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
I just want to get everyone together just to say, a very well done to all the staff, and indeed to Emperor Arrhenius for all his hard work.
Thank you very much. And I must say, players like you, Marcus, like he is an example of some of the people that have really helped us build up this server, and players that aren't even part of the staff team that like help us add laws, help further the server lore and story. It is so unique and amazing what we have here. And I just want to say I love you, buddy, and thank you for helping us with all the time, with everything you've done the past few months. So thank you.
Oh, it's been an absolute blast, and there is more to come.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Glory
guys.
to Keizaal. Funnermer.
Okay. Dawnstar and Morthal being given your own stuff. So obviously in character, Jatea knows.
And you're up here. You're on stage.
The future of Dawnstar, for example, right? Like in character, we know what is happening, right?
Now you have to sing a song.
However, we don't know when that's going to happen.
There we go.
In character, out of character, I have a good idea that will be within the next week. Plus, if I had to guess, if Morthal, or not Morthal, Markarth, if Markarth just opened up,
ask a question.
I think Dawnstar, Morthal, and the other ones as well will open up within the coming
Okay, then I will ask for the
to a
guards
month.
specifically then.
Because with this amount of players constantly, they're going to need every hold open. It will be too small to limit it to just a couple of holds. We need the entire
maybe
map now.
higher ranking guards only though, not just the general privates.
So,
I think it's a little bit of an issue.
We will see what happens.
I understand that. Of course, there's administrating the server.
Also,
and,
real fast.
And downstream from that is like the guards, which is something funny of like the people that do come.
This is a asked and answered question that they are answering at the moment because it's literally in the announcement with the queue. But hello to all of the new viewers. The server is currently offline. They are doing maintenance. But we are listening in on the town hall, the community meeting for Keizaal. My name is Jinx the Bunny. I play Jatea the Huntress, the Khajiit blacksmith or apprentice blacksmith to Tatari, the master blacksmith of the Khajiit. And I look forward to entertaining and creating more content for all of you in the coming months. I don't plan to stop doing this anytime soon. I'm having way too much fun.
Raid a bandit base, but the bandits can't get on.
Raymond is looking into Dawnstar. Jatea knows a bit more about that. But I can't. I'm not gonna say that on stream.
Players would be like, well, we can't raid them.
Not right now.
Hopefully they can come on so there's enough of them for us to have a fight, not just kill the one guy standing there. So yeah.
Yes.
Not yet. Not yet. We'll save that for
my own question there.
for the content.
No, sorry.
Alright.
Nope. We got a lot of people.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Venimer.
Lord of Keizaal.
Lord of Keizaal.
Lord of Keizaal.
All right. Any claw?
Hello. Wow, a lot of people. Yeah, thank you everyone who's worked on the
Greetings.
server. It's been the most fun I've had RPing in like so long. My question is sort of to do a bit more with the roleplay. As I joined the server, there seems to be a culture of like tension between the different races that people RP as. And I know one of the rules is in regards to racism, and I'm just wondering what the staff and GMs think that line is of doing the Skyrim lore. Because I noticed in the last few days, it's not like a unique character mechanic
I've not
to be
noticed anything that extreme.
against
What the
different
hell?
races. It's like 90% of the people when you walk around are
Have I just gotten
like
lucky?
egg layer, or I go use a litter box, and it's so repetitive. Like, yeah, what's the sort of staff view on how that works?
Sorry, so you're speaking of in terms of like the repetitive bigotry of in-character bigotry?
Yeah, exactly. Because I know the
Yeah.
rule against racism. I understand that's probably
You
more
had
of a
that as
real
a
life
damn,
race, but, like,
Jajaya's
how
been
does that
lucky
play
as fuck.
into the Skyrim lore races?
Yeah, so I'll just and maybe you're aware of it, but I'll articulate exactly what we have in our rules about it. It's something that generally it's more mocked in the server. It's not like players, of course, in lore and Nords are like, you know, Stormcloaks, and there's organizations and such with that in the game against the Empire and the Thalmor and such. And then the Thalmor themselves are these, you know, very pompous high elf supremacists. And it really comes to a matter of luckily there hasn't been too much of an issue, except there's been new players who blatantly make it related to real life racism. So for example, in our rules, what we have for in our rules, what we have for racism is very strict on when it comes to human races. Nothing having to do with anything akin to a real life racism. We're not going to comment on skin color. If you want to call Argonians want to call non-Argonians Gaspers, other things like that. Maybe the skin color of a high elf or a dark elf. That's fine. These don't exist. But in terms of how we view it, if it's over the top, if you're just being rude and you're harming someone's RP, and it's just obvious you are, we're going to talk with you and we will punish you. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just noticed it's a trend where I think someone said it's more boring than offensive at this point.
Yeah.
And it's like 90% of the comments walking around. Was sort of my point. Yeah.
It's something that it's stupid. And honestly, and another thing, and people have continued to bring this up, and this is something I've decided, and I think we all as GMs decide we're pretty clear on. People will make an example of like, you know, there's racism in game, but there's also sexism in game. First of all, that's depends what. For example, calling someone the B word, like in the game, Ulfric Stormcloak refers to one of the Thalmor female officers as a Thalmor B word, right? I'm just not going to say it. Just not say it. I don't care.
Just say the word.
Thing is that Altmer don't exist, but women do exist in real life, and so we're just not going to tolerate any sexism at all. And if you do it, you will be removed permanently and never be seen again on the server. So
valid.
Yeah.
I am perfectly
so
fine
we're just
with
not.
that.
We're not gonna. No, we're not doing that.
I am very
That's
okay
it.
with that. Hell
just
yeah.
to add on to what you said, did I address what you were saying? And are you satisfied?
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone.
I don't want to deal with sexism in my fucking RP. I think it's boring, it's overused, it's stupid, it doesn't have a place. It just no.
Oh, man, great to be up here with all you lovely folk. It's I the barrister. One thing.
Oh,
that
get him out of.
Hey. One thing that I wanted to bring up, and I'm hoping y'all are aware of it, because I know y'all talked about like the wheat job in Whiterun, similar jobs being in other holds, whatnot. To avoid the grindy mechanic, when those are established, people just run to every hold. Those should be all on one timer. So like I can't run from Whiterun to East March to the Rift all the way back over to the Reach and Hoffengar, and then hit each of those jobs, and then that's what 5 holds. It's 500 coin, and if you run that, you can probably get it within 2 hours, starting in Hoffengar, running to the next one in Whiterun, and so on and so forth.
I don't understand the point of this.
I don't have a question. It's just that's what I wanted to say, because I feel like that might become an issue if it's not all on one timer.
What?
hoping that.
There's only the one hay job, if that's what you're talking about.
No, I know, but I thought there were talks of all the holds having a similar hay job.
Oh no, no. If Markarth has a hay job eventually, and you come to my city, I'll just kill you.
Okay.
Each hold is going to have their own appeal and what you can make money with, and the hay job is kind of like it's an outlier where it's the only thing where money is like externally sourced. Everything else is going to be sourced through the systems we've built.
Cool. Yeah. I heard rumors of like maybe each hold having a hay job type
Nope.
thing, and I'm like, well,
Those rumors are wrong.
It's up.
Settled.
Yep.
And it's great to see 800 people here, plus people watching.
Oh, yeah.
Streams. But that's really it. I wanted to, because all my questions were asked, and I was really frustrated.
Great. I'm number 82 in queue because priority.
Hey, man.
It seems Callian has brought up a good point. I will have a job that people can come do. You can come work in my silver mine until you fall over and die. How about that?
Well, there is prison, like long-term prison RP, and it's going to happen probably. Can I talk about this?
Yeah. Go ahead. I mean, sure.
Yeah. So if what I used to do when people would sit on my throne is I would execute them, but now what I'm going to do is if you sit on my throne, then I'm going to send you to prison for like a week, and you're going to be in the mines just mining up silver and gold for Markarth. And that's something that's going to happen.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we just need to get the gates fixed, and once that's fixed, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
If you want, while you're waiting, we have an iron mine just north of Whiterun that we've for the past while been sending prisoners to go mine.
Oh, it's perfect.
I always send them to Solitude. We have fun with them here too.
Yeah. I'm even gonna let them buy shivs for like 5 silver.
Oh yeah, no. The way I do executions in my hold now is I have a fighting pit and I have a Khajiit, and they have to fight the Khajiit barehanded. If they win, they can live, but they just die every time. And we place bets on how long they last. Anyway. Khajiita. That's him. Khajiita W.
Next up, Zukin.
I will probably not ever get back into the server.
Hyperbole.
Why a Khajiit? Because Khajiit have claws as a passive. The claws do bleed damage.
Can you hear? Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hello everyone. I am a new player. I'm from Chile, so sorry if my English is not the best.
Welcome.
I just learned of the server today because of a couple of friends. Really excited. I love the vibes he got going. But my question is, I've read a little bit about the paranormal RP thing, and I really enjoy usually in games like this RPing as a virtuous character that struggles with great curses. So I would love to be able to play something like a vampire or a lycanthrope while actively trying to resist the thirst and trying to find ways around it. But so far, of the questions I've seen, I've asked a lot of questions about it in question chat. Thank you everyone for replying to me. Apparently the only way right now is just to just directly kill people and feed on them. So essentially I'm just asking if there's a slightly less violent way to go about it. I know in the base game you can feed on sleeping people, but there's no sleeping people here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought maybe I would be a good person to answer as I've been making all the rules for it and stuff. So basically the way that vampirism and lycanthropy work on the server is you can find, you don't actually... Werewolves have to kill people, right? Otherwise they eventually go mad. Vampires don't. They can feed on people without killing them. But typically, there's always a chance that it's going to lead to the person dying. And that's kind of the, fight, right? Is if you want to play a good character that gets affected with something like this, the entire roleplay is going to be you resisting the urge, and then eventually you're going to have slip-ups where you do give into it. And then that leads to more character development and stuff, the way you change over time, etc. So that's basically how we want things to set up.
That sounds like exactly what I'm trying to aim for. That sounds perfect.
The reason we have it like this is so we don't have zero consequences roleplay for supernatural players. Because if they could just, let's say vampires only fed on animals, it basically meant that they could completely hide, never have to harm anyone, and they would be super overpowered without it ever coming at any consequence. Like, they have to have some kind of like negative effect on society, just as a whole. Otherwise, the dynamic between monster hunters and monsters doesn't really function.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, like you said, if I can have my character be like stronger with it, but
I like the
have to,
idea. The
like,
idea
give
is
in
cool.
and find a way to handle it. Yeah, that sounds like awesome.
I'm watching my queue number constantly
Perfect.
jump up.
Thank you.
So I don't think we'll be jumping back into the server today. That kind of sucks.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you very much, Lamia, for explaining that. Rijan.
Hi.
Hi.
One of the things that I have seen being brought up in the general chat multiple times that I would like to get you guys' thoughts on is concerning the immersion of players within the role play of the server. How do you intend to address the issues with the starter experience?
I feel like they should have waited for the community hall to end
or grind
before
in order
bringing
to
the
get
server
into
back
your
online.
RP, lack of any sort of defenses or weapons to protect oneself starting out, and the raggy army that's breaking immersion.
I see. That's a really good question. So in terms of starting out, that's always something that we've been trying to take care of. With a lot of the newcomers coming in, of course, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I go through Whiterun and it's tons. I
stay
totally
away from
understand it.
Whiterun because there's just no way.
I do not blame you. I do not blame you. There's so many of them. Here's the tricky thing, though. Like, we want to make sure that clothing itself is a unique thing that people can go for, even if it's simple clothing, because there's many people who just want to be a farmer and have a simple type of clothing. You know, let me ask, what would you suggest?
So, there's a lot of different ways you could go about it. You could do something like you could select a starter kit if your character has a backstory that is more martial oriented.
That one I
you
like.
come with a sword.
Let us start
if you were a farmer, maybe you get some farmer's
character
clothing.
with a starter
If you
kit.
really want to play a beggar, you can have your beggar's clothes. You could also do something where some of the game masters, like the Jarls, would be stationed just outside the portals with beginner gear, perhaps, for you to choose to cater
Because
to your backstory, to get you into the roleplay you're here to do.
It doesn't
And not,
make
yes,
sense
Kat,
to
I
me
understand.
that,
To
for
get
example, if
into
you
the
are
roleplay,
playing
you're
a
here to
Huntress,
roleplay.
somebody
you're not
who...
here to, okay, I've just spawned in, I now need to spend 2 hours running the roadside, picking flowers, and praying somebody pays me for them. Just so that I can get
It doesn't make
into
sense that, like, as a
clothing
hunter,
that makes
for
me
example,
look like a farmer.
you have
Totally.
to not
hunt. One issue
at the beginning of your character's
we've had
life.
something like that before. or
That
tested
makes
it
no
out and Thought
sense.
about it. The one issue that would come about is that people would create starter characters, get a sword, sell the sword to a guy who's a farmer. Who
That
wants
is
to
a
defend himself.
that is a drawback.
Yeah. But
so
I think you're right. In terms of, I know we do.
You know,
we've had a decent
farmers in
amount of people in
Skyrim have, like, weapons, right?
that go around and
I don't understand that argument. Farmers in Skyrim have
really
weapons
detracts from
just
the
like
RP
everybody
of,
else. They
like,
have to defend
if you
themselves.
just have like 5 beggars, okay,
Yeah.
somebody's town got raided.
Yeah.
You can help these guys out, but you just have like lines.
Yeah, no, totally. I think what we could do is I'm going to talk to
Jenna, not right now, please.
I'm going to talk in game. I think what the holds we can start doing is in game we can have people in our holds, the Minister of Charity or something like that, the Courtier of Charity. Have them go there. They stand around. They can get a lot of people that can come out and help, and just lend a hand, give some some clothing to someone.
Yeah,
and some
like
food.
okay, that's a great
You can
idea.
even RP buying those
But
from
people
the
have
tailors that
a
are so desperate for
crafter skill,
something to do.
a crafter or a gatherer skill,
totally. Yeah,
and then a
I
combat
appreciate your,
skill if they want.
Your ideas about it. We're
That would
cooking on
be
something with that.
a really
and that was a
good
big push, 'cause it's an issue. Thank you
what's the
very
word?
much for your
That would be a
suggestion.
really good workaround.
Well, have yourself a good day. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I mean, I would.
Me and my
but I
friends
can't tab
just
out,
joined the server.
or I lose
like,
my
I wanna
position
say,
in
3
queue.
days ago, right before the storm started, or happened. So I might be a little ignorant, but from what I have been told by players around, the only place to learn magic in the server is the College of Winterhold, which is great, but there's certain magics that me and my friend would like to learn, like Restoration, because we want to be followers of Stendar, Paladin type clerics. We don't really want to join the college because that's made for like wizards and mages, but we don't have any other option to run, I'm told. And then there's the college seems a little bit over flooded, and I don't exactly know when it'll be open to people who just want to learn a couple basic spells to be a little bit more in character.
So 2 things. One, we intend on, and I'll also get Shio here. He's helped build the basically the most of the college being built is from him, and in RP and in rules and everything. So one thing is we want magic to be very exclusive. Magic is not a commonly known thing in the game, and we want it to be something. It is a very unique thing for someone to have. They whip out Restoration like, oh my goodness, it's a mage. But with
Are we using like an alternate history of the Elder Scrolls? Because magic is very known in Elder
Join the
Scrolls.
Vigilance, climb up the ranks.
It is a very common thing.
Acquire heal and heal other.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was a thing or not. We didn't really get a good answer.
In the lore of Elder Scrolls,
there are
magic
multiple ways to do it.
is widely
and
known.
there
A lot
are,
of
if
people
you're
know
to
the most
create, like,
basic mundane spells.
A very specific character with the idea of getting magic at the end. That's usually not the way to do it. Because we have a very we're very heavily
the
judgmental
most
against
basic healing spell for like small cuts and injuries.
someone
But
who writes
it would
power
take
into
a
their
more
backstory
skilled
just to skip
restoration
the
mage, for
RP.
example, to be
There's
able
been a
to
very
manage
big balancing game with the
heavy
college.
wounds.
Like, how do we differentiate? I just
But
want to be a hero.
magic in the Elder
I
Scrolls
want to save.
is
You know,
one
I
of the
want to
most
help. I want to help
common
people.
things
That's
you
what
will
people
ever
say
see.
when they actually want to help people, and that's also what people say when they don't have a good reason. They just want magic. So
Yeah, I've
we
done
have
a
to
lot
kind
of
of
RP and that happens
Yeah.
quite often.
So we have to differentiate in the college
In Elder Scrolls
from those
lore,
types of
magic is
people for the
nothing special
applications.
at all.
However,
it's part of life.
I have always had the intention to build kind of a counterbalance to that. That's a little more accessible, and that's something that I have. That is a project that I'm working on right now, just to make it a little bit more accessible outside of the college to a lesser degree. Very much weaker than you're not going to get mastery in these other places, but they are.
Yeah.
I
don't want to be a master.
Place you can
Not
go
Jataya.
to
Jataya's not a
to
mage.
get spells a little
Jataya
bit,
is a spell blade.
more easily.
But
it's still going to be a
unfortunately,
very
I
rare
can't
thing. It's not
play
going to be
her
like
the way
you can
she's meant
craft
to
a
be
sword
played
and
because
then
I
just go
can't
swing
get
it.
access
There's
to the
gonna be a lot
magic
of role
that
play
she
involved
knows.
around it. A lot of time invested into learning these spells. So
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. So thank you so much.
yeah. And just to kind of reiterate, the college feels like it's very closed right now because it's closed. We closed it like last week because we're restructuring the entire college to make it a more fun experience. Think like Harry Potter at home, basically. That's kind of what we're doing. And
I will say
we
that
decided
so
to
many
wait about a week after full release. A couple days ago, we waited at least a week, maybe a little bit longer, to allow people to kind of establish their RP and not come to the college in rags. And then we're going to open
I don't know
up,
if I'll get into the server
for
again
further
today.
discussion and potentially new applicants and things. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. We're not just ignoring you. I know it feels like it, and I know a lot of you don't believe me, but trust me, good things are coming.
I don't think. Yeah, no. I just want to say you guys got people outside the college telling people to come back in a few hours and it'll be open.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what confused and frustrated I think a lot of people yesterday, because people were saying, "Oh, it's going to be open in a couple hours," and then it's going to be open in a couple weeks, and then like, when is it going to be open? We're just trying to get answers here.
I keep
But,
going from
thank
like
you so much.
100
If someone
to
tells you
like
something about the college, ask them to
65,
cast
and
a
then it goes
spell.
right
If
back
they can't
up.
cast a spell,
So
they'll
I don't
lie to
know.
you.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Lithium.
Bye.
All right.
This is why I don't like
Artekha.
content creators and, you know,
And if you look
non-essential
in the town
people
hall text
having
chat right
priority.
now, they've
Because, like,
thrown the Discord courtesy of Hilari, one of the elders.
I don't like that.
And the leaders of the college. She is the professor of illusion magic. She put the link
The only
in there.
people
so you can join that
who
if you
should
want to join
have
outsider
priority
chat or get some more
are
direct
law
information
enforcement,
on
so
how
the
it all
guards. I agree with that. The admins, because the admins need to be online. That
that's
way
all I
we
got to
don't
say.
have
If you wanna bring the next
rampant
guy
rule
up.
breaking happening.
Yep, thank you very much.
Lore masters, the Jarls,
Except Artekha?
and that's it.
Artekha.
The staff, the Jarls, and the guards.
Oh,
those are the only three that
Sorry,
need
I
to
thought
have
it would
priority.
automatically accept me. I was queued up in the
You're good.
game. I guess I got to restart the queue. It's okay. I didn't have to restart the queue. Okay. This is just something that my friends have mentioned to me, and I don't know the actual
the
details.
factions
But,
do not
like,
need
if you
priority.
can only
The
get to
Dalamar, the
novice
Imperials, the
in
Stormcloaks, if
skills
they
that
do
you're not
exist, I think they do. I don't
think
fucking
it
know.
should be more like
They don't need priority.
advanced,
That's
or you should be able to have a second mastery that isn't as good as your first mastery that you're advanced or expert in, and then everything else is novice.
Who the
That's
fuck?
just.
Did they just say my?
It seems a
my
little
idea?
restricting to be able, like, maybe you want to be a warrior smith, like one of my friends. You guys can hear me, right? I'm not just talking to no one.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Like one of my friends wanted to be a warrior smith, and then he saw the warrior class, and then he's like, "Oh, I can be advanced in one and expert." And I'm like, "No, I was told that you can only be novice now."
Yeah.
That's what I was told. And I just think it'd be cool if you could be advanced in everything, or if you could select a second mastery and be either expert in it or advanced in that second mastery, like your secondary mastery.
You know, that would be kind of cool.
I think that would be really
to
cool.
be able to like select a secondary skill to be
now,
an expert in,
personally,
and then a primary one
I
to be
totally
a master
disagree.
in. That would be okay.
I mean, I get
And
that,
let me tell you
but
why. Well,
okay.
let me tell you why. Let me explain. I'm not just going to say that and then say goodbye. So what really makes it unique is, like, generally NRP, if you're someone who's spent years and years and years of your life as who's a woodcutter or a smith or a tailor, it's likely that you're not going to be an expert in multiple things, and it allows people to create unique characters
false.
and makes a form of exclusivity that is binded upon someone because
You
they
can
made their
very easily
character and they
become a
built them,
jack of all
and
trades.
then they have to rely on other characters. Having it be so restricted.
That's a very common
increases
thing,
the
even
amount
in
of
real
player
life. A lot of people
interaction
do that.
You have to find someone because you can't do it yourself. And being a warrior
Jack of all
and a smith
trades,
is,
but
like,
master
very,
of
like,
none. People do that.
I don't mean to say power gamey, but it's like very. Of course, a warrior would want to be also a smith in game, and we'd want them to have to go find a blacksmith who's specifically specialized in that. We think that enhances the RP in the best way.
I'm going to make a counter argument to this.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean,
You could be
I
a
would like it if
basic
you could have, like,
blacksmith.
an advanced
Materials
skill
like iron
and a
and
master
steel,
skill, and then the
they're
rest
not
are novice,
hard
rather than just
to shape.
all novice.
I
'Cause
know,
as far as I
because
understand,
I've done this
novice
in
is
real
the limit,
life.
right?
I've
Unless you're
done
mastery.
blacksmithing in real life.
Correct.
Iron and steel, very easy to shape.
I feel
it is
like
very,
one skill
very
at
moldable.
advanced to just. I don't know. I
But
guess I feel different.
For more
but I
advanced
understand your
materials
stance.
like
So,
ebony and
that's all I
glass
really
and stuff
wanted
like
to
that,
say. I wanted to get that out
the
there that a lot of
specialized
people would like
materials,
to at least be able to be somewhat
that
skilled
would need
at
a
something
specialized
besides their main
expert
thing.
master
Not
blacksmith.
necessarily
You know?
an expert, but like advanced.
But stuff
or
like
what's
iron and
above
steel,
novice, but
no.
between novice and
Anybody
advanced.
could fucking do it. It
just
wouldn't be
decent
good,
at it.
but
Apprentice.
you
like,
could do it.
even just like, oh, apprentice. Like, I don't know. I just feel like one profession is slightly too restrictive.
Yes.
Just slightly.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna argue with it either. I mean, it's your game. I do find it fun still. I'm not gonna say it's not fun.
We can
and
talk
does,
about it.
It
We
does,
can talk
it
about
does
it
mean
and kind of discuss.
it does mean you have to like get more into your role play, which I'm probably gonna end up killing off my character at some point since I've decided to go alchemy. but like way down the line after I make my
Explode.
second character. I actually went and downloaded a voice changer just so I could play a female character.
What the fuck?
Well, we do. Sorry, but we do have to move on to another question. But
Okay,
when
yeah,
you-
sorry, I ramble.
You're good.
Go ahead.
You're good.
Fine. Thank you for coming up and asking that. It's a good question. And good
Making a warrior
suggestion.
skills.
Very
I
popular
mean,
suggestion. Yeah. Thank you very much.
technically making Hunter the archery skill's a bit odd too, right? Like, why is Hunter the archer skill?
Tangent.
You're telling me a combat archer is also a hunter?
Can you hear me?
I don't believe that.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something totally different.
Wonderful. First of all, thank you for allowing me the privilege to play in such a wonderful community.
Wait,
As
who
a
is
newer
this?
player, the experience has been truly incredible,
This
and
sounds
the dedication
familiar.
the staff
I've heard this
has to
voice before.
details and community is abundantly clear to me. Community is really something special, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it. With that said, my question pertains to the new warrior trade skill. I know that earlier it was said that priority is server and fine tuning everything that needs to be going with there, but I just wanted to comment that I think it's a great addition, but I do feel that some of the features are a bit underwhelming and kind of drastically compared to the utility and wealth potential of trade skills.
Who is talking? This
there be
voice
ever
sounds
a
very familiar.
consideration for some other incremental additions to this particular profession and advancement to the warrior tree to help the fighter feel more proficient and tougher? As it stands, I feel that power attack based perks being the main features, even with stamina reduction, feels kind of punishing compared to the potential of the other trade skills. With that said, thank you for having me, and glory to Skyrim!
Well, one thing, thank you for joining us. I can hear your passion, and I love it. Makes me smile. Thank you for the very kind words. The GMs have been working. We've been trying our best. We really have. We greatly appreciate it. And one thing is, as I ask something of you, get some ideas that you
You
have.
know what
of
I would like to
you think would
see?
be a great way to change.
I would like to see a rogue
of what you
as
think
like
you would
a
like to
skill.
see
If
that
they're
would make
gonna
the
have
players love it.
warrior
Put
as
that
a
passion
skill,
that you wanna share
let
with people,
rogues become
and
a
give us
thing.
those suggestions.
I would love
will-
to
we
make
can
a
hear,
more
especially from
stealth-based
players that
character.
show,
That would be
the heart
really,
that you
really
have.
cool.
We're going to listen very
The
closely.
problem with that,
So
however,
please give us if you have some ideas now. You can say them quickly.
oh, I mean that's what Joteo would be. Joteo would be a stealth archer.
Yeah, so I mean,
'Cause, you know,
I think that
Huntress, right? A hunter
just as a
is
little bit
supposed
of
to
a
be
bullet
stealthy.
point
You don't
thing,
want your prey to hear
small
you.
amounts of actual solid damage increasing with particular styles of weaponry, a little bit of damage reduction, a little bit of stamina reduction as well, or maybe even bumping up the basic stats, I think would go a pretty long way, because as it stands, 25% stamina reduction sounds
But
like a pretty
the
good
problem
chunk,
with
but
stealth
ultimately it brings you still
is
into the danger
people
zone
would
of being
metagame it.
completely
People
helpless in
would
a lot of
ignore
this.
you
And
being stealth.
Trust me, I do a lot of
People
combat so
would be
far on the
like,
server.
"What are you doing
There's a
over
lot
there?"
of things that just
and
completely cut through
just
anyways,
obliterate you
and
being
I
in
want to
stealth
see some
mode.
perks that are not just
They
based
wouldn't play
around
along with
critical
it.
and power attacks. Running is already very stamina intensive
I do
as it
too.
is, so
I
I would
would
like to see some things that
in
are
the
just less
future
swingy
if they
and just things that
separated
let a
classes
warrior
and
more
skills.
passively
So
stay in the
you
fight,
could, like that
while,
one
like,
person
not feeling
just
like I'm
said,
being
you could
punished
be
for,
a
like, for
warrior,
example,
but
I
you could
whiffed
also
that
be
power
a
attack
basic
and I got killed. Obviously,
blacksmith.
practicing
You
is a
could
big
not make
part of
ebony.
it.
You
But, like,
cannot make
it would
iron.
be much
You
easier to
cannot
be on my
make
feet if I was just a
fucking,
miner, because I could get back into the gear I lost
Orsinium
quicker,
armor.
rather than putting myself into the risky heroic situations
you would have to
that
go to a
a lot of the fighters kind of get
specialized
challenged to be
blacksmith to
put
do that.
into. And in order to walk the walk
But
and talk the talk,
you could still
kind
do
of
it,
got to let
the most
yourself get
basic
put
things.
into those situations to begin
I'd be okay
with.
with that. That'd be kind of cool.
And giving the people who dedicate their martial RP to
I would like to see, you know,
benefiting
like an archer,
in combat,
for example.
would make those
Do
situations
they not want to be a
I feel
hunter?
a bit more
Okay,
immersive
they don't have
and
to be
more
a hunter. An
realistic
archer
to
can be
power level. And I don't want them to be
a
super
tailor,
powerful.
you know?
Like I
They
love the
can
fact that everything is
go
just like
hunting for
bit
fun,
by
and
bit,
then
and I
in
love
their
that we don't
in
really have
their
a huge power creep.
in
So I know
their
it's a
work
slippery slope.
life, they are a tailor by trade, but
the
they like to
combat
go
has always
hunting
been very
on the side.
interesting in this because
That'd be
Skyrim
cool.
hasn't
That would
been
add so much
designed.
flavor.
It was never designed
Now,
to be a
okay.
multiplayer combat.
Oh
With,
yes, absolutely. Like
with that
aggro tables and
said-
stuff like
Oh my
that.
God.
Like, you know.
Yeah. So come to the Windhelm Pit if
technically,
you want
you
to
can
do
do
some
that
duels.
now,
I
right?
want to see
Like,
what you got. I'm curious to see
that's
what you
what
think of the
Jatae's
combat
doing.
system. Yeah.
I would love
She's
to.
a huntress.
I would love to.
who
And I don't want to take up any more time
specializing
because
in
there's a lot
heavier
of other people
weapons
with
and
great
armor now.
questions.
Of
And
course.
again, just
But she is
thank you for
blacksmith
allowing
apprentice
a new
in
player
roleplay
like me
currently.
to get involved, even just as a player in this. It has truly been a tremendous experience.
But she still likes to
Thank
hunt.
you for joining, brother. We
That's
greatly
just second
appreciate
nature
that.
to her. That's what she does.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Glory to
So you
Keizaal.
can still technically
Glory
do
to
that,
Keizaal.
but like, you know.
All right. Next up, we got Gimbus Gimbly. Yes. I love this guy.
That Kraken.
Sorry. Hey, I've got a question. Will you guys be looking into an alternative VoIP solution, such as like TeamSpeak Salty Chat?
I can't hear this guy at all because Skyrim is so low. They're so loud.
Thank you.
Good question. I do not know the what is a solution. Certainly gonna have that mentioned.
What did they just ask? Because I literally
yeah,
cannot
and
hear
I'm certain he's already
anything
working on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
because of
he's already working
Skyrim.
on it. Yeah.
The VoIP has been a continual work in progress, and it's leaps and bounds better now than it has been, and I think we're like right on that cusp of it being good. Like we're just a few more tweaks, I think.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if you guys had
VoIP
already
might
looked at
also
the
be a little bit better now that we have the queue in place, because not as many people are going to be spamming to join the server, and thus the server will probably perform a little bit better.
I had to fucking mute this.
There's also worth that to think about.
Oh my god, I can hear myself think finally.
That's pretty much it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gimbus.
There we go. Let me turn this up.
Goodbye.
I didn't realize it was that low.
A third-party VoIP, probably not going to be the
Well,
most
I'll have to play
ideal
some Q.
solution. It's just an extra thing people have to download, install, set up a plugin for potentially.
That's dumb. I hate that.
We pride ourselves in our ease of access.
Yes, definitely. TeamSpeak is also.
We may
Sorry,
end
go
up
ahead.
ending
Oh,
stream
no, I was just
today
gonna make a joke.
after the meeting is over
Take,
because
Oren's credit.
yeah, I'll be 400 in queue now. This sucks.
Okay, let's go. Next person. By the way, Gimbus, you
Ah, you're
make me
fine.
laugh, man. When you came up to Dragon's Reach and you're like, "Hail, I assume you've heard of me." Yes, as everyone has. Just a funny guy. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm 460
I
in
love that
queue. We'll wrap up the
Darian
stream
Floyd.
after the town hall. I'm not gonna make you guys sit there for 7+ hours. Nothing. That's boring.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. I've seen that fishing has already been talked about.
I'm not very
will
talkative
that
on
be
stream.
implemented
I'm usually
anyway?
a very antisocial
into the
type.
server?
So, it's actually a
except in
long
RP.
time joke
RP I
we have
kinda
in the
have to,
server about
even though
fishing being
Jataya
handled
is
every
also
time by a specific
very
user.
very quiet.
Our plan is at some point when
I genuinely
if
feel like they
possible,
should
once we
restart
have, like,
the
all
fucking
core stuff
server
dealing with, well, now the population,
after
but also
the
other
meeting is
things.
over, because
We would
it's a
love that
bit unfair to start the
So if
server
possible,
when
yes.
people
Yeah,
are
totally.
listening to
I
the
know that was
community
just a quick
meeting.
one. That's all I just wanted to know. Because
You
I
can't
do
do
that for
roleplay
hours.
and listen to this shit at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's fucked up.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Nucifer.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Hello.
Quick question. For the different factions in the game, like the Thalmor and other factions, if you join up with one of these factions, is there actually a game mechanic that says you're part of this faction? Or is it just, based on everybody knowing you and them accepting you in?
You're wearing the armor.
Based,
What do you mean?
Mostly based upon the RP you have. If you're a higher rank of this faction, and for example, with the Vigilance of Stendar, they have access to certain alteration and restoration spells, that would be something that would make you noticeable, but it would be usually the armor that you wear and the name you make for yourself in RP.
I mean, yeah, certain
Okay.
factions have
Stormcloak
unique
gets
armor.
Stormcloak
The
armor.
Thalmor,
When
the
the Thalmor get
Stormcloak,
Thalmor armor. etc.
the Imperials, they have unique armors.
All right, thank you.
They would know who you are just by your outfit. Because you
many
need that
things.
for them to. I personally, okay, this is what Jataya has been doing. Jataya has
Yes,
been
hello, can you
making
hear me?
every, because she
Yes.
finds A fur cloak.
Yeah, my question is
a fur
about when
collar.
you start getting established in the world and your character starts amassing items they care about. How would they go about safekeeping them? Because if you
the
go
fur
out
collar,
traveling
it
with
looks
all those
cool,
items in your
but also,
pockets and end up losing it,
I don't know. It's
you could
unique.
probably hurt your roleplay experience.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it would be one thing to do is if most of all property is currently taken, but if you could find someone that owns a house, ask to pay them a small amount to live with them if they have other houses, other buildings and stuff, and try to find housing in that manner. There's also occupations that provided for you, such as being a part of a guard and such. That sort of thing.
So right now the only option is to
500 in line.
either
Oh, yikes.
get a house yourself or find someone who's willing to store
I am
your items.
435.
Yeah, you could. Someone said a bank. You could possibly find someone who'd be willing to start a business of being a bank for people, but they would, which is actually a really great idea. Someone just
I
said
don't
that
trust
in the
anybody
chat.
with
Yeah.
my septums.
Yeah. So you'd basically have to, Tane at Tane, get him on it.
I trust nobody with my septums except
yeah,
myself. No,
something
thank
like
you.
that. It is kind of. Someone said landlord RP. It is a feudal society, and not everyone gets to have the houses they want. Although we will be adding a lot more houses in the game, especially to baronies like Riverwood with an insane population. So yeah.
We have
This one hopes she can have access or
I
the
was saying
home.
that was basically
that
my
is
question.
the blacksmith housing in Dawnstar.
Okay, thank you very much.
Since she is the apprentice to Tatri, and Tatri is the master smith.
We're gonna say something, Shio?
I was going to talk about the modding team. Like for certain things we do try and make. I don't want to open a floodgate for tickets. I think the tickets are actually closed right now, but we do. For certain things, we have a mod team that will work towards expanding or enhancing an area, or say like you get a general shop or something. If you actually get a property in a location and it's filled with cobwebs and flipped over chairs, then we can have our team go in there and make it something nice. You'll see
crash or
things that are not vanilla that are
sucks.
custom done for the server all over the place, and we're trying to do more and more of that as we go forward.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
I still stand by what I said earlier. They should have waited to start the server until after the community meeting. Because it's kind of unfair for those of us who want to listen to this meeting to just hear the answers.
Hello
to
guys,
certain
can you hear
things.
me?
But also lock
Hello?
ourselves out of the server basically.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. I'm so grateful for being here. This is absolutely amazing. I wish you the best on this project, and hopefully we can get it ahead. My question was already answered, so I will just switch it to basically supporting the statement. I just joined today, and the only thing I care about is magic. So I went right to Winterhold, to the college, and when I arrived there, they told me that the applications were closed, which essentially blocks me from any kind of progression or like any other path.
That
Now
is
the
a
guy
good
standing
point.
there told me that you were thinking
Because some
about
people
other
want to
alternatives
roleplay
to learn magic, which
because
I think
magic
would be
is
ideal.
common in Elder
But
Scrolls.
yeah, like I just want to know about the team's thoughts and
But they can't now because it's
philosophy regarding magic, and how can we go about having the college be the main source of magic while at the same time not being like a gatekeeper, if that makes sense.
Shio, if you want to.
I'm sorry, what was the question? Just repeat that for me one more time.
Yeah, in short, it's like at this point in time, anyone that wants to learn magic that is a new player has no chance because the college is closed. Like applications are closed. Basically, that means that anyone that only cares about magic has no way of going about this.
Yeah.
And yes,
So-
this was already answered. This is just like to state the point again, because I think it's really important, and I want to know the philosophy of the team. That's all. Thank you.
Well, the answer is the same. It's basically that the college right now is very heavily oriented around RP and those who want to pursue Arcana and like the role play of magic and going to magical academia, where the system that I want to put in place to counter that is a little more direct and to help people that kind of don't make it into the college to at least access some magic potentially. Maybe more for a monetary value, or maybe you can show your RP and make that a pipeline into the college. But that's something that we have to build still. But that's something that I want to do for the community as well.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. All right. Bam beep. Bam beep.
Greetings. How's it going, everybody?
Good, you?
Greetings.
Doing all right. Doing all right. So my question is, so no disrespect to the amazing dev that we have, but to alleviate some workload, will there be applications for like more dev openings, or is it strictly just kind of focus on the one? I know there's like people that do like modding, like you mentioned, with like flip tables and all that stuff, like was it like MLOs, YMAX,
Yeah.
I don't know what the term is.
The creation
for-
kit and stuff.
Yeah. So will there be, because I've seen a lot of people asking, will there be applications open for that?
So currently the all applications are closed as of right now because we were just get flooded with them. Specifically with dev applications, that is more going to be up to Orn when he decides he would like to add another developer with the team. The thing when it comes to adding on developers is, of course, the protecting of the code, IP rights, and just people having access to it, and really getting a good person that you can trust. So
Sure. Yeah.
I don't want to speak for him, but I assume that if he were to get on or to have extra developers come on, he probably would want to find a system that protects himself, protects his code for the server, and a way to go about other people being able to develop things without giving them full access to everything, as that's a big risk for him. So for the time being, the apps will be closed, and that's going to be his decision whenever he's ready to maybe add someone onto the team.
All right. Yeah, I was just curious.
Oh my
on
god,
that,
my
as I'm sure
fucking
as
queue
other
just
people
randomly
were.
crashed
and I
itself.
have two like closing kind of suggestion opinion things. Is that okay?
If it's
They're
a
really
suggestion,
brief.
yeah, we're trying to keep it one per.
We got
Hard on that. Yeah.
We got a lot of
Okay.
people that we won't be
No,
able to
that's
answer,
fine.
and we got to really.
No worries.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo, hello. I'll make this one really quick because obviously I know that we've got a lot of people and not a lot of time left. So one thing I've noticed, obviously, since the populations increased, especially overnight with the white, which is really cool, is before that, we had a bit of an issues for people that are in like my time zone. So I'm from Australia. So
I
trying
love
to
your
get into
time
the
zones.
server and accessing businesses and events and stuff, it's pretty hard for me because obviously you work during the day, come home, want to play some games,
this one could
and
tell
can't do
them.
it. So my question
This one
is,
is sure as you.
due to the
He will be
time zone that I
available
live
as
in,
a
I'm a little
blacksmith
nervous
for
that I
all
will
time
constantly
zones.
miss
She
these
will try
large
her
events
best.
and also businesses opening
I don't
times.
fucking sleep. I'm
There is
awake a long time.
There's businesses now that I don't ever see open, but when asking in the Discord, they say that they're open all the time or for a certain amount of hours each day, which could 100% be true. But due to all of them getting off before I can even get into the server, I don't see the stores ever open. Is there or will there be ways to make sure that the players that are in these other time zones are not missing out on opportunities as we're not on in the prime times? And what does
This
that
one
look
is
like,
a
if possible?
blacksmith for all time zones.
Very
Just come
good
to this
question.
one.
One thing that we do, with
I will
most
definitely
of the
be around
Jarls
for
are
a
GMs, and
good
so
amount of
we
time
have kind of the
zones.
mindset of trying to appease that in the best way we can for the sake of the server. Now, I mean, before I say that, one thing is, of course, it's an American server. You could say it's based in US EST. Yeah, and it's unfortunate that that's the case, but because we do have a lot of people from Oceania and other places, Europe, everything. But on what I was saying, what we try to get people who own businesses to do is hire people. Try to really hammer in that, like, if you can find someone who's a different part of the world who can work there at that time.
That reminds me, I
for
need to go
example,
back to the Solitude Blacksmith at some point.
For example, Ysalia in the side chat. There has a very successful business, has ran businesses in the
I need to
game,
go back to the
and
Solitude Blacksmith
merely just
in
needs to get in to be able to do it.
4 days.
And
That's what I was
yeah,
told. So.
it's something to where we are trying to
Might do
enforce that with the people who are
It just depends on what
property owners,
happens.
and we're trying to do our best in that. If you have any suggestions and what can help, we're always open to it.
I don't remember if I was. I don't.
Yeah, cool. I might post something in the
think
suggestions.
I was streaming at that
also do
time.
have a few ideas, but yeah, thank you for answering
I
that.
think I just stopped
don't have another
streaming.
question, but I just want to bring up as well that with this new queue system, all of your patrons are already sold out, so no one else can access it. Just so you're aware.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, we've just increased. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, so the patrons are getting queue priority. So.
All right, Swamp Sorcerer.
So it's a patron streamer only server now.
It is I. Hello. Thank you for having me here. Most of our speakers have already asked the questions I was going to ask, so I'll just quickly ask. I noticed you dropped the warrior skill tree, and we previously had like a hunter skill tree that kind of dabbles in like perks for each. Has there been any consideration, or will there be future consideration for doing that with the magic skills, or would that be considered too OP, being that is
what the college is good for. One of the main things is not perks specifically, but benefits for casting your magic outside of just learning the spell. For example, you can go on expeditions that we're planning where you get artifacts that will give you access to greater magnitudes of magic than you could do if you learned it outside the college, for example.
Okay, that is incredible.
We want to shy away from perks in general, but some perks are useful in making spells easier to cast. Or castable at all, because some of them, you just don't have the magicka to cast them at level 1. We're all level 1, so and that's how it stays. But the intention is to create things like that. But it's really we can't hammer home enough that magic is RP, RP, RP. So like if you're gonna be a mage, you're gonna role play being a mage.
Absolutely. Heck yeah, that's good to hear. Thank you for taking the time for doing this. I appreciate all y'all's hard work. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, do we viewer?
Yes. Apologies.
Okay.
Reading the message.
Very good.
Apologies.
Just to, I think time-wise, we're coming up to we start at 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 o'clock we're finishing, right? Like 12 minutes, yeah.
And as I mentioned, we got 53 people who have their hands up. We won't be able to get to all of you, but we'll try to get through as many right now. Thank you, Swamp Sorcerer. We will go on to Braun Blackson.
Oh, thank God. All right, hello. So I'm going to ask my question at the end, but basically I had applied to become a mod. That was rejected. That's fine. There's no hard feelings on that. My question would be regards to, I've been working on improving and adding things in Creation Kit to particularly the Rift for Iverstead in particular. I was going to upload that mod to Nexus. It would be exclusive for Keizaal. Give you guys exclusive rights to it, and I was just wondering if that would be in vain for me to be working on that, to be improving towns, and then possibly expanding it to the further of Skyrim so that players could have more economy-based and more jobs to be offered, where maybe they can like deliver X amount of materials to a Baron or to a Jarl, and that can be put in to build new towns that might not even exist in the vanilla game.
We would need to have a discussion with you to make sure that there's proper oversight in what we're intending for the sake of the economy.
Okay.
To take that in, I would ask you don't put in the effort for it because I don't want to give you a false promise. But we'll see.
So usually when it comes with mods, it's really all about the permissions and what is given on the Nexus mod page as well. A big thing for us currently is being able to re-upload it so people can download it without having to go through Nexus, and that's one of the big permissions needed.
Well, like I said, if it's exclusively made by me, then there wouldn't be any permission issues for me, at least personally, and it would be all entirely like vanilla assets, so there wouldn't be any like copyright issues.
I would open
some of the stuff that you've done, and I'll look through it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
All right, that's all I have to ask. Thank you so much.
It brings a smile to my face to hear
Thank you very much.
how passionate people are about this who have
Alright.
no association
Let
with
us go
Keizaal
to Slip.
to want to start working on stuff for Keizaal.
Question for you guys.
It's
About
awesome.
criminal
I love that.
activities or that kind of pathway for characters. Is that game master kind of oriented and brought into play, or are there like hidden features within the Skyrim world?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Some sort of like criminal professions, or like I know a lot of RP games
There
have like
is
things that people can find.
We
For
want
example, last night in Solitude, me and another cat brother of mine, we had taken over the Lumen Solitude temporarily, and kind of RP'd that out, and that was kind of fun. But we were just wondering if there were any additional things that may be hidden in the background that we have to find or maybe meet people to get into.
I mean, there's factions.
Well, we don't want a metagame.
Right.
I'm just wondering if there's a possibility of
There's-
something, or like it's an RP to find out, or are there like certain
There's
mechanical
a lot of
features?
things that are in RP to find out. FOIC, find out in character.
I mean, there's the Thieves
I
Guild,
want to
there's
say
the Dark
that just from a top
Brotherhood.
level, we want there to be a black market. We want there to be like a
Gitanos
criminal
are
underworld,
one
but
of
it has
them.
to follow the rules that are set out
Gitanos
for
are one of
banditry
them.
and for criminal stuff. You have to understand when you're going into criminal style RP, you're basically forfeiting your protections from general PKs, more or less. Like you're more likely than not, if you're going to enter in as a criminal,
This is
going
something
to
I
die
wanted to
eventually.
talk about.
Or
I
soon,
am the type
usually
of
soon.
player who
Depends on how
I
good you
do
are at keeping
not
your secret.
consent to forced permadeath.
But find out in
Shout out to
character.
everybody that
when my
enjoyed the
character
Loom last
dies,
night
because
in
I don't
Solitude.
like to permakill my
That sounded like
character
it was fun,
for
yeah. Cool.
bullshit reasons.
Good stuff. All right,
Or
thank you
if
very
it's
much,
a
Slip.
character that I just made like a month ago. No, fuck that. I want my character to have a life, a
Dorothea
long
Ritteran.
life, and not just be fucking killed off randomly by any Joe Schmo that comes about. That's stupid, man. That doesn't contribute
I
to
have
the
this
story.
written.
That's
This is all one topic, one
let
question. Just wanna
me
as
be
clear
the
as possible.
decider of my
I'm gonna read it.
character.
Are there plans already prepared by the game masters to drive an overarching storyline that fosters or
It might be
facilitates
your
conflict
server,
and
but it's
confrontation
my
between
character.
players? Or is it more
Nobody
intended that the
controls
server
my
is
character
more
but me.
non-confrontational and should remain static in nature without room for player-driven narratives to have an effect on wider setting politics? As my specific example, you have holds controlled by handpicked staff members instead of players, so those staff members will be inclined to listen to your instructions rather than come up with their own ideas. I think generally, is there opportunity for conflict between holds instead of cooperation, or the chance that player action rather than game master intent could bring about something
No,
like a
you'll probably be
rebellion
killed by
if
the
there's enough
Thalamor.
in-character support?
Pretty sure that's what happened with Fall Creek.
So mainly it is downstream, and it's not just like we're all working together, all the GM Jarls, well, and the non-GM Jarl, or leader, the regent of Riften.
Unfortunately, while that would be kind of fun,
but also
pretty sure you
and
would
with
get
other staff
power
that aren't.
gamed
We're
by the
always cooking
Thalamor
something,
and
and we have
killed
an
off,
overarching story. We've had
which is kind of sad.
Here's the problem.
But you know,
we have had examples of
I get
the
it.
major holds right now, like Windhelm and Solitude, and Riften have player Jarls, and we've had some really good player Jarls, and we've had ones that we've now made GMs, such as Jarl Emir. But there is a level of coordination that's needed to make it fun for players. Because what happens is a lot of conflict.
I think I talked about this yesterday
we need to
on
make
stream.
Sure that, one, they're
for a little
capable
bit.
of really running a hold and
I
making sure
do
that their
not
people are operating
like
properly.
When
and two,
a
we need
major
to make
town
sure that they
is
can
under staff control.
operate in a way that enhances RP.
That to me takes
instead of
away from the
necessary
roleplay
self-interest.
element of it. Let the players
If a Jarl or a player
be in
die,
control
like our GMs die,
and
if there's an
take
awesome
the
RP where like my character
background
gets
as the
assassinated, he
game
could die.
master and
He
guide
almost died
them
in battle
in
the
the
other day.
shadows,
He would have been gone
not directly
forever.
as a character, or hell,
things like
even
that.
be an advisor character, but not the
So
direct
it is more
controller.
downstream, more
Let the players
from
do what
the
they want
GMs.
to do.
However,
Let
we do
roleplay
allow
be
players to be a part
roleplay.
of that.
Let it
and
nour-
much
let
of the
it,
stories that happen are things that
what's
players
the word I'm
do
looking for?
that are a part of these things
Let
that
it
completely
flourish
changes the story.
on its own. Let
We're gonna be
players
having a meeting
nourish
with one
that
of
roleplay. Let it grow.
idea
Let
and
it
be
prosper.
speaking with the enemies of them, and we're gonna be having some sort of game plan.
But don't
it is quite
don't
you better
take
not die.
control
well,
of
you can't be too sure.
everything just because you're the staff. That's
but
not
yeah,
fun.
that's kind of our
That's
view of
not
it. And that's
roleplay,
what's
that's
been most
scripted
successful on
content.
the server.
And I hate scripted content. That's not fun.
Okay, lightning rounds. Good luck in the next one. Never forget the Falkreath Massacre.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
I think I've said this a few times in the past with previous streams of mine. I'm an improv role player. I personally
Yes, hello.
prefer
Just making sure
over
you
a
can hear me.
I'll do a scripted scene
Hello?
once in a blue moon if I have to.
Okay.
But like, I just go with
so
the flow, dude. Let me
my
do
question
thing.
is
That's
there
where
any
that's where
way
I,
to help alleviate the
This one can
players
think
such
good.
as myself that normally don't speak
That's where
in game?
I flourish. That's where I
to
am
help
at my strongest.
people that do speak, like, I had this written out and now it's gone. Basically, my character doesn't speak, and every time I go up to someone that speaks, they just immediately run away.
I do
Even
not
though I
like
take a
mute
notebook out,
roleplay.
or they don't have the chat.
I'm sorry, I don't like mute roleplay. It is a
So
voice
is there any
RP
way to,
server.
like,
You should have a voice. I apologize, but that's just kind of how this is.
I don't know, because you know how when you write in me, it shows in the chat box. Most people have that disabled, and they don't ever see that. So if I ever walk up to someone and I start talking,
Oh, I know.
They just
I know.
Well,
which
if I start writing, they just run away.
I hate that that's a
I
thing.
don't.
Right,
I don't
but,
think you can. Can you? I don't think you can disable that. You can disable the
No,
OOC.
you can't disable /me stuff.
But you can't. I don't think you can. Can you disable the local?
The
Yeah,
emotes.
If you what?
Yeah,
But if it's a voice RP server,
Oh
I
yes,
think
if
you
you
should
have
still
that. Yeah, I see.
have to
I've noticed
vocalize
so many
at
people
some
where I
point.
try to like RP with them,
Which, yeah, no,
and
I
they're just like,
understand.
I can't
know
read
they're
you,
mute
and they just walk
IRL,
away.
but
I'm like, all right.
it makes it a
All right, I
bit
guess no
hard
RP for me.
in like the heat
That-
of the
yeah, that's
moment,
unfortunate. I mean, we
in the
will
middle of combat or something.
throw some suggestions up for us to do things. We want all players
For people to
Well,
interact
I,
with a
I
mute
did put
role
a
player.
suggestion up. I'm sorry, I'll say this.
It's
fast.
kind of hard
but,
to do, you know.
I did put a suggestion up
Because
where it's like
adrenaline is a
GTA
pain in
one
the
where
ass.
it
People get
appears
caught up
on the
get kinda
person when they do the
tunnel
emote.
vision, stuff like that.
If
So-
you know what I'm.
All right.
Or
Yeah, we'll
some
think
people
about that. It's
completely
noted,
ignore
and,
the chat
we'll,
box,
if
which
it's in, it's
I
I don't know
don't
if it's even possible or
know
how it is to dead
why.
in.
Oh, that's a
But,
good point. Yeah, the
That
engine.
text-to-speech thing.
But
Yeah.
I mean, this
problem
is
with
the restriction I put on my
text-to-speech
character. I've been figuring it out. It
is
has been working. I get
It
it.
won't be able to pronounce
Yeah.
Well, thank you very
certain
much.
things correctly.
problem.
It'll sound weird. It'll sound robotic.
We got 2
I
more
d- I
minutes
don't
left,
know.
and then we're gonna stop taking questions.
I don't know. It's
we only
a
get past
really
one or 2 more.
it's a hard thing to do, you know.
Hello,
Because the
it is
fantasy
me, the Knight of
names
Whimsy. I have
seems to get
Question.
So,
everything.
I had joined.
out of
Well,
whack
I
with
put in
text
application to the college, and now there's no applications, and I never got a response to it. Will that still be? Is that like still valid? Like my
Isn't this like
application?
the third college question?
Application to the
You
college.
wouldn't listen.
Yeah, the college winter hold. I had put an application for it, but there is no application.
That's a question for the college Discord.
Okay.
Then we can talk to you there for that.
Okay, thank you.
But admissions they're getting redone entirely. I mean, just overall. Just
And
because
that
the
is
whole
the third
college is different
question
now.
for the college that has been answered
The
3
rest of the college
times.
Discord.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
People need to listen more.
Alright. Sonnavisk.
Hello. So I have I guess a quick question, or I guess I could put it in the suggestions too, but it was just, I've been noticing that a lot of the older players are kind of upset that they can't have their chat. So I was just wondering if there was any thoughts about like or if that's done internally. I'm sorry, but I was just wondering if like, like private channels for factions kind of thing. Or
Discords.
if those do exist.
Yeah,
already,
Discords. Yeah.
then
Factions have their own Discords. Yeah.
okay, but
Wait, does that
I
mean
mean,
I'm
is
part
there a
of?
way to do like groups, or
Never
are
mind.
you okay with us doing that like separately?
I guess I am part of that.
Yeah, as
like
long
not like titled Keizaal or whatever,
Oh,
I was
we would
really
ask
tired
if you
when I
have a
got
server
the
for
invite to
you
that
make,
Discord
you make
last
one and
night.
you give it to one of the
So
GMs.
it didn't click to me until
so
like
it become an official
right
recognized,
then.
and we make sure people's
Oh, I
not
guess that makes
metagaming,
sense.
power game, like and breaking rules. Yeah, totally. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to, if you're just a business, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll take one more. Hef.tv.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. I had a question. It is, where do you guys want to draw the line on community-made resources? So I'm thinking about things that are trying to avoid metagaming. So like wikis. I already made a ticket for you guys.
A wiki would be kinda
Wikis,
cool.
expanded maps, all that sort of
I
stuff.
like,
Given the
I
amount
like
of
player-made
popularity of the
wikis.
game,
Those
I
are
can
always cool.
foresee, a lot of other coders like myself just sort of making what they make. We've already had 3 other people up today. How do you guys plan on integrating? I mean, you are community led, so how are you guys thinking about going forward with, or just really to try and make the most of the community resources between developers and the rest of that? I understand,
Great
Crazy
What would the
Boris,
wiki page for
I
Jateo
don't want to
say?
touch his baby.
I'm
I'm a
curious.
developer. I got my babies too. I just want to get him out the dungeon, get him in the game if we can.
Great question. So one of the things somewhat similar to what you're saying in terms of deving, I had a few really great longtime players manage to talk about the idea. An example of, in terms of with our community, is lore masters. It was brought to me, I asked people of it, and I'm like, I gotta add
That's
this.
what
So
I want to
added
do. I
lore
want to be a lore
masters, and now we
master.
got a team of
Because
people
I'm
that
a
we
lore
can consult
nerd.
and also build a wiki and build information upon that. Which is,
I have been
think, something that's so
studying the
amazing,
lore of
and
Elder
it's so useful
Scrolls
for us to consult them and figure out how to plan things.
since I was in middle school.
It's something of privilege for players that have been around for a long time and are very serious and knowledgeable, and we want to make sure that
I'm
they can
almost
really help
30
guide us.
now.
I'm not someone who's a
So
lore
it's
guy
been
at
a
all.
really
I'm
long
not very
time.
much into the lore. I love Skyrim, but I do not know as much as quite a few people, even close.
This one knows a lot to do lore.
In terms of deving and modding, we had a few issues. We had a group of
I know too much
I don't
lore.
know how many modders did we have at once. We had a handful of them, and there was just issues with trying to maintain a what is called an ESP file for the server of all the objects and stuff put on, and maintaining that to not get corrupted. We had a big thing where a lot of progress was lost, and so we had to completely stop all of the creation kit stuff. Because at a time when we had a lower pop, when someone wanted their house renovated with different things in their building, we would change it for them. Now we can't really do that with the amount of people. So now
Problem with
we have
a
fewer
.esp
modders.
file.
I think
Okay,
we
hold
have
on.
a couple
Let me backtrack a bit.
and we're orienting it more toward
Actually, I'll wait.
things that'll benefit the greater
wait.
amount
I'll
of people.
save that
So
question.
adding houses to baronies in the future is what I've spoken about with the dev, that sort of thing. Does that kind of touch on what you're saying?
Absolutely. I also just want to give one quick suggestion, really quick. I run a cluster of DayZ servers. The way I've worked with my modders is I implemented a Steam-style asset approval process. I'm more than happy to go over that with you guys, but given the amount of hype here, I just think that getting it more eyes. I'm sure that Lamia and all your other developers and artists are doing amazing work, but we also got the community. So the better we can bridge that, I'm excited to see what's to come. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you very much. And if you're still here, I sent you a friend request. Can you shoot me a message and explain to me what that system is and possibly present it to the to
That
Oren
would
and the
actually be
modders and see if we
really, really helpful to have a cluster system.
Anyways, that is the end of our town hall.
I don't know how that
what
would
a
work for
record-breaking town
Skyrim,
hall. Our
though.
last one
That
we
would be
had 94
interesting.
people. Today we had over 800. I can't tell you how happy this makes me to see all you guys come, and I know that people have ideas, and we're not doing everything that exactly everybody wants, but we're trying our best to really build something here, and we'd love to have you guys here, and we will take your suggestions, and if something's possible and viable, we will always change what we're doing. Don't be afraid to hold our feet to the fire in criticism. We want to build something. This is the first thing of its thing in the Western world, in the English-speaking world. A massively multiplayer serious roleplay Skyrim community on one server. And so, please help us build this. We're all in this together. And I love all of you guys, and I thank you so much for being a part of this and joining. Glory to Keizaal. Thank you so much.
Glory to Keizaal.
Thank
you. Yours now taking applications for political marriages?
No. No. Goodbye.
Hi, Queen. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ale
That's,
Rindell.
Thank you. You know, the work
I
is
have
good
to-
because the work is imperial.
Glory to Skyrim.
Glory to Skyrim.
I have to go have a meeting with a player. I shall
Oh, boy.
see you all later. I'll let the rest of the game masters end this.
Ta-ra.
Love you all.
Bye-bye.
So, how about that College of Winterhold?
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, someone kick Patir.
I'm leaving. Goodbye. I'll see you in.
Okay. Well, so that was the community meeting. We're currently stuck in queue. I did want to touch on the ESP thing. So that kind of ties into the creation kit itself. The creation kit for Skyrim, at least, is really fucked. It is one of the most buggy fucking things in existence. It is a janky mess of code. I have tried and tried to get to understand the creation kit for Skyrim. I refuse. I gave up. I hated that. It was terrible. So I understand trying to, prevent it from corrupting. But I think my current issue, and of course I'm not a developer, I'm not a modder for the project. I don't know the inner workings of how it's all running together. I don't know how custom content and mods are going to work in a wide-scale capacity. I also don't know if or how a cluster would work for Skyrim. Of course, I know nothing about clusters. That's something I have never worked with. That was one of the things that was kind of outside of my own personal knowledge, and I'm not afraid to admit to that. I don't know much about cluster servers. I know they exist and they're really, really popular, but I would assume they create a lot of problems. I also have a concern, now that I think about it. With a cluster style system for Keizaal, now that we have a queue system in place, I don't think it would work. Because, looking at it this way, if you're, let's say, for example, you're running around Riften, right? And you want to go to Windhelm, which is just, just north. Take the northern road. What happens if the server cluster for Windhelm is full? Does that mean you get booted to the main menu and put back into a queue? How would that work? Like I said, this is something I don't understand personally. This is out of my expertise, so to speak. Also, hi, welcome. You're now gonna get the more renting style of me. Because I can't join the server, so I'm just gonna be ranting. I also can't tab out of the game, so I'm kind of just stuck looking at my stream manager or my OBS and my game. I'm not complaining about that, mind you, but that's just I do want to try and submit an application to be a lore master, because like I said before, I'm a lore nerd, dude. I know too much lore about the Elder Scrolls. I know that the Dwemer most likely achieved Kim in some capacity because of tonal manipulation. I know that the Augur of Dunlane in Skyrim was a very unique individual. I know that the fuck, what's it called? Shit, I forget what it's called off the top of my head. Is it the Eye of Magnus? The Eye of Magnus is a very curious object, and the fact that it is even in Skyrim to begin with leads me to believe that it might have been the cause for the war between the Nords and the Elves in the ancient times that led to the Dwemer's extinction. There's a lot of things that I can kind of theorize and kind of piece together just based on the facts and evidence that we have. But that's just a few bits and pieces of things that I personally looked into. I know much more than that, though. I kind of wish I could change my music because this is too calming for me. I would rather have, you know, my actual music. But, oh well. Actually, wait, hang on. I can probably do this from my phone. Oh, yeah, it's working. There we go. Can't tell. I apparently I can. I just have to relaunch. I'm not doing that. Apparently there's a command you can put in your Skyrim. Hang on, let me actually read what that post said. There's this command that you can put in your Skyrim prefs.ini under the general tab. But obviously, I'm already here. I don't want to tab out and lose position and have to restart for the third time. So, I'll just have to do it later. I don't know what I want to do today. So, the plan, I was going to run to the embassy as Jitea. Because, you know, Jitea has been in communications with certain people. I actually have a question. Because I don't know if it's legitimate or not. Are letters sent considered IC knowledge if they're through a Discord? If they're an official Discord? Because I don't know how that stuff works. That's something I haven't really touched on. They are? Oh, okay, cool. Then, Jitea woke up to a letter, you know, to go to the embassy, which, of course, why would Jitea not want to go to be with her people? That's legit her goal. She wants to be with her people. She wants to help the Khajiit people arm themselves with arms and armor. I mean, she's an apprentice blacksmith for a reason. Hector! What's up, man? But, so she woke up to a letter saying, hey, we don't have to use the hidden camps anymore. We can head to the embassy. There are, you know, things, there are amenities we can use and have on standby for time being. So, yeah, what Jitea's gonna do. I personally would like Jitea to be part of the council, but I don't think Jitea is that well known. She's still, you know, kind of a newcomer. I think it'd be fun RP. And technically, she has a little bit of political knowledge and advisory stuff due to her own dealings in the past. Well, at least the queue is slowly moving. We're down to 100 now. Victor, are you still here? Did you actually download this, by the way? Ooh, it's a good song. You know what I didn't do last night? Or I guess this morning? I didn't go back to watch my VOD to make sure the music was actually on the VOD track. Or if voices could be heard in-game. On stream. I don't even know what title Jatea would have if I was to take her to that route to, like, join up with that council or whatever. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Advisor Throman? What would Jatea be? I don't know what a council role. I'm gonna try that again. I don't know what role would fit Jatea best. Like, I know if Tatri is the Master Smith, that means she's probably the Council Smith, because that's typically how that goes. The Master Smith is the Smith of the Council. Because, you know, sorry, the Court Smith. I think that's the correct word. That's usually how that goes. But I don't know how that works. Wouldn't that technically be an advisor then? Of some capacity? Like the caravan advisor? Or something of that nature? Or like the overseer? Or something like that? Oh wait, no, fuck, wait, no, there's an actual term for that. Ah, damn it. I think I know what it is, but it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say it. Master at Arms, there we go. That sounds kind of like what a Master at Arms would do. You know, the person that kind of helps with like inventory flow and caravan management and stuff like that. Ooh, Avatar, hell yeah. Or Man-at-Arms. Wait, no, Man-at-Arms is a military rank. I need to look this up. It's gonna drive me nuts now. Where's my phone? Oh. Whoops. The Master at Arms is apparently a military terminology. don't know if that works. Oh, it's a naval petty officer. Huh. Hmm. Oh, wait. Oh, nope, that's not the right one. A master at arms is a highly skilled, often noble warrior or knight, responsible for training soldiers in weapons and tactics, managing castle defenses, overseeing the lord's arsenals during peacetime. Don't think that's exactly what I was trying to think of. Let's see. Nope, wouldn't be Major Domo. I don't know what the term would be. I can't really find one that... Oh my god, I can spell. Hello, the general. There's general. Yeah, no, it's definitely broken. Alright, time to relaunch again. There is a fix. That's what I was looking at. It's in the news. It's just not an announcement. That's what I was just doing. However, I think the queue system literally just malfunctioned. Because now, I'm not even getting a queue. So I think the queue system actually just shut down. That's what the plan was. There's a fix in the server? Wait, what? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, no, I know. That's what I did. They didn't make it an announcement. It's in the news section though. Crash prio needed or removed the queue. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say agree to that one. They either need a priority protection system in place for crashes like that, or they need to get rid of the queue until they can properly fix it to prevent stuff like this from happening. Looks like got good music. Alright, real fast chat. I will be right back. Ah, man. This one had to use the little Khajiit room. Been holding it in since since before the town hall meeting. Yeah, the server went down. But I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait. Ooh, sleep token. Hell yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite bands. Guess they have good music. That's like the one thing we got right now. it's good music. Oh man, I'm gonna put on this tank top because it is toasty in this room. I don't think, you know, the crazy thing is, Jatea has heard of Senna from like multiple people, but she's never met Senna. I think the server went offline a moment ago. Actually, no, you know what? The server probably went offline. It probably went offline when we were looking at the queue when it stopped moving. So that means the server's been down for like 5 or so minutes now. Maybe longer than that. E. I look forward to the apprentice blacksmith to meet all of her kin. She will offer as many wares that she can offer to everyone. The server's still down. Are they doing maintenance or something again? Okay. Chat. I'm gonna end up streaming now. Apologies. We'll be back live tomorrow. Until then, adios.